How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome into 14P Fantasy. I am your host, Justin Wright. Today, we're talking Dynasty Fliers. This is not the same as a Dynasty Stash. You know, these are guys rostered over 60%. You're not getting any of these guys on waivers, most likely. You have to go out and actively trade for them. Ideally, they're a throw-in piece. You know, you're not going to build a deal around somebody this cheap, I would think, you know, unless it's just a third-round pick and you're going to swap them. That's fine. You can go and do that. But that's not the route I would go. These are guys I'm looking for, maybe not as free throw-ins, but as, you know, extra juice on top to get a deal done. Guys that could, you know, find themselves with a bigger role or, you know, find actual fantasy relevance in 2022. So we got 5 guys here. Before we get to them, check out our Patreon page. Dynasty rankings are going up over on there this week. We already have our tiered rookie rankings. You get early access to all of the rookie profile videos coming out every week. You'll get mock draft links, best ball links, a whole bunch of stuff as that community starts to grow. Also, you know, it helps support the channel, which is huge for us. You can get in for as little as $2, you know, up to $9. We'll break down a dynasty team for you, stuff like that as well. So check all of that out. Subscribe to the channel as well here on YouTube. All right, let's get into it. Number 1 on the list, it is Gus Edwards. He's only 26 years old. He's rostered in 70% of leagues. But if you are a contending roster that is looking for running back depth, I think Gus Edwards is a really good bet, you know, for someone that is going to have a guaranteed role on a team. He's going to, you know, have sporadic usage, but a very high floor for a running back. And a guy that, you know, if Dobbins were to go down again next season, hopefully not, but if he does, Gus Edwards has RB1 value. I mean, there's no way around it. Devonta Freeman was a very relevant RB2 this season, and Gus Edwards is significantly better than Devonta Freeman. Again, 700 yards his first 3 seasons in the league. He is going to remain with Baltimore for at least another season. Harbaugh loves the dude. Again, he's not going to be the lead guy with Dobbins there, but, you know, say he gets 35, 40% of the work. He gets some red zone work. He has the potential to finish as a back end RB2 and a ceiling of much higher. You know, he's a guy, if I can give up a 3rd round pick for him, a high 3rd, and someone's going to take that deal, I'll gladly buy him coming off of the injury as a contender. Another guy worth going out and just kicking the tires on, it's Josh Palmer. And right now, he is a bit of a wild card because so much of his value does hinge on Mike Williams not, you know, coming back to LA. And if that's the case, and they don't bring in a, you know, a true superstar or, you know, an early 1st round pick as the wide receiver position, then Josh Palmer has a huge role in this offense. You know, 3 of the last 4 weeks here, he had 5 targets, 4 of the last 5 weeks, 3 touchdowns over those games. He flashed, he produced. The upside's interesting. Again, he's not someone I'm giving up like a high 2nd round pick for. Absolutely not. There's still too many unknowns. But if you're tied to Justin Herbert, I am interested in you as a fantasy asset. You know, Mike Williams leaves. They don't bring in a guy in the rookie draft. I think Palmer has a big role with the Chargers. So you're buying in as a flyer because there is so much risk. You have to dodge, again, free agency and the draft. So if you can avoid all of it and Palmer makes it through to the other side as a 3rd round pick, he has the pedigree. He has flashed enough for me to say, you know what, I'm good to get him as an interesting throw-in piece on some of my up-and-coming dynasty rosters. Next on the list, we have KJ Osborn, only 24 years old, and the future without Adam Thielen, whether it's, you know, next season, the season after, who knows what his health is going to be like, but the future without him is extremely bright. Obviously, Justin Jefferson is the bona fide one, a true superstar, but KJ Osborn has flashed enough to say he can finish as a wide receiver 2 with Kirk Cousins. And again, the reason he's a flyer is Kirk Cousins could be gone. You know, who knows? I think he should stay. He's great. So Kirk Cousins should stay. And if that's the case, KJ Osborn is going to do what he just did to end the season. 14 plus points, 3 of his last 4 games, 14 plus points in 7 of 8 games where he saw 5 targets. So it's not a question of talent. It's just a question of volume. So KJ Osborn has been fantastic. He may be a little bit more expensive than just a flyer, but if you can sell them on, oh, Adam Thielen's coming back, I'll gladly take the chance on KJ Osborn. You may have to hold him for a year for it to fully pay off. But I mean, if Thielen goes down, if Justin Jefferson goes down, KJ Osborn has already proven he's very capable of producing with an expanded role. It's not a question of talent. It's just a question of volume. And again, he should get it. Maybe you're in that 32% of leagues where he somehow wasn't scooped up. Go and add him. Heaven forbid he's out there. Go get him. But, he's a guy, again, 3rd round pick if you're just trying to pry him away from somebody. But I like KJ Osborn. He is an interesting piece in Dynasty. Next on the list, we have Nico Collins. And these other guys, they all flashed. They have clear-cut roles and, have production. That's not the case with Nico Collins. In reality, his rookie season production works against him as far as trying to pan out. He would be a true outlier statistically. But at 22 years old, he is 6'4". The dude has all the athleticism in the world. I'm going to buy in with the hopes that, Brandon Cook stays there to help teach and guide Nico Collins, but they also get a quarterback in the draft maybe. And if they can, if they trade down and scoop up some pieces, don't make a big move at wide receiver, then Nico Collins has potential to, again, establish himself as a wide receiver 3 in fantasy and potentially more moving into the future. But next season, he's a guy I just want to see incremental steps moving forward. If he can finish as a wide receiver 3 with a new quarterback, not a new quarterback, with Davis Mills, hopefully, then I'm a lot more interested in how this offense pans out. They have so many holes. I don't know if they go and attack wide receiver in this draft, especially with him and Brandon Cooks on the roster. So if that ends up being the case, then it's going to be an interesting piece. Again, statistical outlier. You're going to need things to break right. But he's a guy, give me a future 3rd. You don't even have to give a 3rd in 2022 for him. He's going to be basically free. Take the shot on Nico Collins. Just insane upside. And to close us out, this is really a post-hype target. I mean, still rostered in 80% of leagues, but LAVISKA SHENAULT, I fell for it last season. I know Marco did too. We were all in on the hype. We were all in on the LAVISKA SHENAULT breakout. Obviously, that did not happen. Things were about as bad as humanly possible in Jacksonville this year, and that played a role on the entire offense. Urban Meyer completely torched Trevor Lawrence's rookie year development. The offense was a joke. Darrell Bevell's a moron. They're going to bring in somebody new. And as long as it's not, freaking Bill O'Brien, it should be better. So LAVISKA SHENAULT, he's a guy I still think is talented, just used in the world's worst possible scheme. He was seeing 5+ targets a game down the stretch after Urban got let go. There's a role for him in the NFL. I don't think it's ever going to be what all of us anticipated last season, but there is a world where he finishes as a mid-level wide receiver 3, a back-end wide receiver 2. I think the talent is there. The size is there. And again, the capability, it's just, is he utilized the correct way? Does Trevor Lawrence take steps forward? It's going to be very, very interesting to watch. But at this point, LAVISKA has been kind of left for dead after completely flopping this year. I'll go and scoop him up for a little bit cheaper and hope, that hype that was there this offseason comes back and hits in 2022. All right, guys, that is all I have for you. Again, check out the Patreon page. We'll have a lot of stuff going on over there. $2 at the floor to get in on that, guys. We'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. All righty. That is all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.
How many snaps did they run in the 14 personnel?
That's only for us.
100% of the snaps.